What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this special installment, this little tribute, if you will, here to Earl Simmons, better known the world over as DMX or Darkman X, December 18th, 1970 to April 9th, 2021. And I just wanted to come on here for a minute and pay tribute to this man. He was a big, I wouldn't say inspiration for me because I wasn't really a rapper. I never had those dreams really. But as far as his charisma and his entertainment ability, man, this guy, he was a magnet. He just drew attention to him. The minute he picked up a mic, you had to notice him. That's why the Source declared him unsigned hype back in 1991, because this guy was so good. And why was nobody noticing him? Somebody eventually did notice him. Mike Geronimo gave him his first break, not necessarily his big break, but his first break on a track called Time to Build with two other rappers who were at the time up-and-comers who would become household names, Ja Rule and Jay-Z. And collectively, the three were supposed to form a super group called the Murderers. And unfortunately, that project never came to be because J and X blew up way too quickly. Granted, Ja definitely had his time in the sunshine, but Jay-Z and DMX just took off to the point where they were too big to do the side project. More so DMX, because Jay-Z still did a couple tracks with Ja in the early Murder Inc. days. But X his star was climbing so much. I mean, 1998 was DMX's year. From being featured on LL Cool J's 4321 the year prior, which granted is probably most notable for being the track that started the LL Cool J Cannabis beef. But as soon as Cannabis's verse is over, bam, there's DMX. The whole purpose of that track was to introduce Cannabis and X to the world. Both of them had their big break on that track. 98, X worked with Ice Cube, legend, on the remix to We Be Clubbing on the Players Club soundtrack. He worked with Mace, 2 tracks for his Harlem World CD, the most notable being 24 Hours to Live, which featured Black Rob, Mace, and the Locks of who were friends of X's growing up. So when they signed to Bad Boy, everyone thought at first that X was going to come to Bad Boy. But Bad Boy's image just was not DMX's image. X had no problem doing some guest spots for their artists, showing up on the Locks' Money, Power, Respect, and as I mentioned, Mace's stuff. But Bad Boy just was not going to be the home for DMX. 1998 also brought DMX's first feature film, the role of Tommy in the film Belly, alongside Nas and Method Man, which of course the soundtrack spawned the single Grand Finale, featuring all three of those gentlemen, DMX, Nas, Method Man, and the chorus by Ja Rule. And X's charisma in that launched him to a successful movie career. Those of you that are wondering out there, well, How does this rapper tie into a movie page? X was an actor. He did Romeo Must Die with the late Aaliyah. May she also rest in peace. He had a bit role in that as a club owner named Silk. He got to be on the soundtrack with Aaliyah for the track Come Back in One Piece. From there, he did Exit Wounds and Cradle to the Grave, both of which are action-packed and hysterical at the same time. The comedic dynamic between Anthony Anderson, who is in both those movies, as well as Romeo Must Die, and Tom Arnold, who is in both Exit Wounds and Cradle to the Grave, is just hilarious. I'm surprised they never capitalized on their chemistry and made a movie with the two of them, a buddy comedy, because their chemistry is just so good. And if you don't believe me, watch the end credits of both of those movies. The two of them just go back and forth riffing on each other for the entire ending credits. It's hysterical. I was fortunate enough to get to see DMX perform live one time. For those of you that watch this that are on my personal Facebook page, I made a post earlier today. Back in 2003, I went to the Cypress Hill Smokeout Festival. And I know what you're thinking. No, I don't smoke weed. No, I never have. So what were you doing at a festival called Smokeout? I was there for the bands, dude. It was a kick-ass lineup. Over the course of the day, I got to see Cypress Hill, Pennywise, Obi Trice, Body Count, which is Ice-T's heavy metal band. If you've never heard of them, Google it. Especially the song Cop Killer. Ton of controversy back in the day over that one. I got to see M.O.P. I got to see Linkin Park. I got to see Exhibit. And closing the show out was DMX. Now, DMX wasn't supposed to be the last act on. Obviously, it was Cypress Hill show. It was supposed to be them. But there was a delay in X's flight. So Cypress Hill went on in DMX's spot to give X a little bit of extra time to get to the venue, get ready to perform, and he ended up closing out the show. As X always does with his live performances, he ended the night with a prayer. Whichever one was the one on his album at that point, because every album has always had a prayer on it. And it was just very, very cool because I'm not the biggest religious guy in the world. But here it was a Saturday festival that had carried over into the early hours of Sunday morning. It was probably midnight, 12:30. You know, Sunday is church day. Sunday is the Lord's day. And here's DMX ending the night with a prayer before everybody goes home. You know, I loved it. I had to catch myself in the crowd trying to sing along with all his songs because, as y'all know, for a white boy to be in that crowd, it's kind of frowned upon to say certain words that appear in DMX's rhymes. Just going to leave it at that. So I had to try to catch myself and make sure I did the clean edits as I was singing along. Didn't want to get my butt whooped there. But anyways, X had demons. Of course, everybody has their own demons. X's were a little bit more noteworthy because he was in the public eye between his drug addictions and his numerous times in prison. You know, he overdosed on April 2nd, suffered a heart attack as a result of the overdose, was rushed to the hospital. It was made public news on April 3rd, which is a little bit ironic, if you ask me, considering his breakout single was 4321, and the news of what was going on with him became public on April 3rd, 2021, 2-1. The news became known on 4/3/21. Lots of back and forth between what was going on with X in the hospital. Did he already pass? Was he still on life support? Was he not on life support? The family held a prayer vigil outside the hospital. Thought it was a nice touch. Lots of people came to pay their respects. The Ruff Ryders motorcycle gang that the record company was named after came to pay their tributes to the man who carried the Ruff Ryders name into the public eye. And then tonight, as I'm filming this, yesterday as it's airing, the news came, I want to say about 10 o'clock in the morning, West Coast time. So it would have been about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, East Coast time, that X had passed. I discovered the news when I got my first break at work, which was incredibly late. I got it around 12 o'clock and I had come in at 9. So I got it a little bit late. That's neither here nor there. But as soon as I saw the news, I immediately began going to work on what is going to air at the tail end of this little video tribute. It's about 13 minutes plus of my favorite verses of DMX's from some of his music videos. I didn't go too deep into album cuts because, trust me, I could have done that. There's a lot of album cuts of X's that I love. Songs like Fucking with D from It's Dark and Hell is Hot, Damien, Ends Done Started Somethin, both of those also off of It's Dark and Hell is Hot. The Omen from Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. Damien III from, I want to say, The Great Depression, because I know that there was no Damien saga on And Then There Was X. I want to say part 3 came on The Great Depression. The entire Damien saga is just amazing in of itself, and if you've never heard it, you need to listen to those 3 tracks. Damien, The Omen, Damien III. Like, legit, they should do a movie out of those. The second one, The Omen, actually has Marilyn Manson on backing vocals. Very, very good story songs. Go to Sleep from the Cradle to the Grave soundtrack. Another album cut that I really, really love of his. So I could have included a lot of that stuff too, but I chose not to. I just went with the music videos that I could find on YouTube. I know I'm not going to be able to monetize this video in the future, but that's not what this is about. I'm not trying to profit and make money off of the passing of somebody. So I honestly don't care if I get deemed for copyrights on that or not. I just want you guys to see the video and know how much work I put into this, because I was working on it at work. I've been working on it ever since I got home. I basically took the videos and then I put the explicit versions over the videos. So I had to do a lot of re-editing because I didn't want to water down DMX. I wanted you to be able to hear the verses the way they're intended to be, but with the music video accompaniment. So for those of you that are watching along, thank you very much. What does DMX mean to you? What are your favorite DMX songs? What are your favorite DMX movies? What about a line from a song? Let me know either over here as the live stream is going on or down here in the comment box once it transfers to being on demand. Stay tuned, because immediately following the video package that's going to bumper at the end of this is going to be the Mighty Ducks film review featuring myself and the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham. We're starting that trilogy today. It's going to be a lot of fun, so definitely good to stick around for that. Try and come back up from the downer that is the passing of Earl Simmons, better known as DMX. Thank you guys for tuning in and checking out this little tribute of mine. I'll hopefully see you for the Mighty Ducks here in a few minutes. And if not, then I will see you guys next time.
This is a beat that I can freak and just drop the rails. Bless a nigga with the ill. Y'all niggas know my skill. X from the grills, hit 'em up, split 'em up, wet 'em up, and watch 'em come, get 'em up, shut 'em up. When you do dirt, you get dirt. Bitch, I make your shit hurt, step back like I did work. This ain't no fucking game, you think I'm playing? Till you laying, to where the junkyard decaying. Mom's at home praying, to coming home, but you not. You sitting up in the trunk, starting to rot. And hell is hot, though, because I'm here now, baby. It's going down, baby. Get the 4 pound, baby, and let off up in a nigga. Especially if he think he bigger. Get my motherfucking trigger. Can I get mine? Is it gone? DMX represent one time. So I got it. Import to export, transport to Westport. A nigga still breathing today, cause the best caught them slugs. You spit at me now, get at me if you want more. Put a fucking hole up in your back, so what's the front for? Come on, baby, we some noise makers. Catching niggas with bricks in that motherfucker coming through Las Vegas. Haters wanted dead or alive, or mad niggas hitless, but ain't a motherfucker come to get this. Witness was unheard of, cold-blooded murder. This hot shit'll have you smelling like a fucking burger. In the shell, from the 12 is all it takes to make a nigga spin like pipe into fall. You call for help, but ain't none coming. The admin started a robbery and gun running. And when I'm done gunning, we all gon' meet up at the club, fucking with you. It's time for love. What's happening? Look at that. Reload. Stop. Squash. I am what I am, I'm gonna be who I be. Everything from chasing the cats to pissing on the tree. Let me see what I gotta see, do what I gotta do. Dog, fuck, lie, but keep it true. Every once in a while I break out the backyard to roam and get reckless, but I still know that home is home. And when I get there, I'ma sit there, take a shit there, put my dick there. Do I handle my business? Shit yeah. I'ma run till I bust my gun and empty the clip. And if I come home, we gotta go, just give me the whip. I ain't got time for the lip, just open the vents. Let me go, I come back, I ain't got time to convince. Ever since I was a pup, I've been stuck with the street shit. Keep the heat shit, fuck it, nigga gotta eat shit. I pass on the weak shit, if it's out there, I want it. All at one time, so when it's my time, I done. I'm gonna waste a lot of lives, but I'll cherish every breath. I know exactly where I'm going, but I'ma send you there first. And with the shit that I'll be doing, I'ma send you there worse. I've been living with a curse, and now it's all about to end. But before I go, say hello to my little friend. But I got to make it right, reconcile with my mother. Try to explain to my son, tell my girl I love her. C4 up under the coat, snatch up my dog. Turn like 3 buildings on Wall Street into a fog. Out with a bang, you will